Chuck Norris was bitten by a cobra, and after 5 days of excruciating pain, the cobra died. Chuck Norris doesn't dial the wrong number, you answer the wrong phone. Chuck Norris knows Victoria's Secret. He may be the subject of many a bad joke, but if anything, it's propelled Chuck Norris to iconic status when it comes to cheesy action movies. He now has a new generation of fans because of his facts, young adults and millennials who most probably would never have heard of him otherwise. Flair Games knew exactly that in developing Nonstop Chuck Norris, and attempted to create an app to match the painful jokes. Nonstop Chuck Norris is an auto-runner action game, in which players take the role of the man himself. On top of interlinking rooftops, Chuck automatically runs toward and attacks groups of enemies, ranging from juggernauts to businessmen. The player's role is to properly equip our action hero with a weapon, jacket and headwear, increasing his attack power, defense and special power respectively. You begin with a baseball bat, standard jacket and no hat, but towards the end you can be found running around with a chainsaw, yellow jumpsuit and horse mask. The special powers which the latter accessory boosts include kicking moves, slams and summoning a helping hand, all of which can be upgraded within themselves also. Each piece of new equipment can be found in a loot box, which you receive after certain enemies drop them or when you move up a level. Once you equip your new piece of clothing, you can then upgrade it further, using gold coins you earn from defeating enemies. It sounds like there's a lot going on in one go. That's because there is. Yet what makes Nonstop Chuck Norris even more chaotic is the meaning of the non-stop. The game can't be paused. Whether you're equipping a new item, purchasing upgrades in the shop, or just having a look through the menu, Chuck does not stop. Not being able to stop the game at all is both a positive and a negative. It was developed to be chaotic and to keep you focused on what's going on at all times. This way you get the feeling that Chuck Norris is an unstoppable force who doesn't wait for anyone. It's obvious that the idea is to capture the aura and the myth surrounding the man so often described as inhuman, the ultimate action hero. At the same time though, constant play isn't necessarily a fun thing. The first 10 minutes are enjoyable as the app feels different and fresh, but not being able to take a break and perhaps search the app for different game modes, properly look through the store for new supplies, or even take time to decide on an upgrade hampers the excitement you feel and turns it into frustration. The fact that the gameplay itself is limited, essentially consisting of the same thing over and over with slightly harder enemies, doesn't help to ease this frustration either. However, if a player were happy to spend time solidly fighting enemies with no respite, and enjoyed the sense of alertness and panic that the game induces, then there are reasons to continue playing. After several brawls you eventually reach different bosses, the reoccurring one being a comical cat in a robot suit. Defeat enough of these and a portal, or rift in the game, will be opened to a new dimension, essentially sending you back to the beginning but with perks. Your rewards will include special currency to upgrade Chuck himself, and potions which can improve performance for a short period of time. Crates are rewarded often and include the aforementioned clothing items and coins, but also red gems for you to use in the store. These can also be purchased with actual money. Whether or not you'll enjoy Nonstop Chuck Norris is entirely dependent on your tolerance of its constant gameplay, but even those with high patience levels might be tested. It's often too hectic to be able to properly take in what's happening, and that leads to it being difficult to appreciate. You do get the feeling that this is exactly what the developers were looking for in an attempt to replace the depth of gameplay with humour, but even that's short-lived. Flair Games are unashamedly in it for the chuckles, and perhaps that's where it all went wrong.